we're back here at Queenstown Ice Arena. Game 2 between the SkyCity Stampede and the Auckland Makos. Oh, Kelly, last night, bit of a blowout.
Yeah, I was working, but I got to put it on the TVs, and I got to witness that on the stream, listening to you and Lucy, who did a fabulous job, but that does not surprise me because she's amazing at everything she does.
Yeah. So what's the positives you take from the Makos' play last night from what you saw? I mean, the score, I keep saying this, the score isn't really indicative of the game that was played.
No, they played hard. They didn't give up. Joel had some incredible saves in the third. Well, the whole game, really, but it was just good to see, I mean, coming in as a young team, a developing team, that should happen. This is what should happen, right?
Yeah.
And then they'll learn from playing the Stampede and the likes of.
I guess there's something weird if they did beat the Stampede. Leader on the top of the league at the moment, and but.
I mean, they've done it before.
So, and I see that we've got a subtraction from the Makos. Lockie Boniface went down hard with that chase for the iced puck and get with Dylan Devlin, and Lockie ended up with a partially dislocated shoulder. But tonight we also have on the Makos Ian Otis, who's come up from Dunedin, so good addition there.
Yeah, it'll be tough losing Lockie. Hopefully a speedy recovery for him, especially for the rest of the season as it's only the beginning.
Right. And just a reminder, it looks like Matt Schwartz will be skating again for the Stampede, which is wonderful to see. Matt, my joke last night was Matt's age added up to the entire front line of the Makos, and I'm not kidding in that. That's a true story.
Yeah, 53 years young.
Yeah,
but
53.
I think he's more fit than a lot of us. So.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So we're only moments away from the start. I'm Dave Dubnick, and with me I have Kelly Nielsen, and we're going to be working tonight on the camera, James, and on the buttons we have Max. So hopefully our team can bring you some great hockey tonight. Beautiful day in Queenstown, hockey town, and you know it's going to heat up here. So warm day, warm night. I think that is still Richard Buttons in the stripes and linesing. Oh, Ben Rotto is linesing with Adam Nagy. So great to see boys lining up. Big shout out to all you people that are listening. Couldn't make it down here. Got lots of hockey action coming up this season, so be sure you get a ticket, watch the Stampede here at local home ice. Puck is dropped. Chamberlain gives chase behind his own net. Makos move it up over the blue line. Tapped off sticks, and Hurley bats it in to the Mako zone. Rusky Jones gives chase, steals it, centers, and Roby takes a tap at it.
Yeah, it was beautiful. That was a beautiful play altogether.
Right, and they didn't. Also, the starting line, a little different than last night.
Yeah, a little younger.
Yeah, a little younger. Cameron True kind of tips that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that front line, definitely the young ones. Chamberlain picks it up and bats it around the boards. Shot wide of the net from McCallum. Stampede battling for it behind the net. And finally, Makos march it up to the neutral zone. McCullum just bats it back onto Rusky Jones' stick. Just Hurley turns it over. And McDonald takes a wide shot on Brooke. Battling for it on the blue line. Burns ends up with it, takes it behind his own net. Finally challenged by McDonald. Skates it up. And it ends up in the Mako zone, turned around again. Huge tennis game at the moment. back and forth. In the corner. Wide shot, glove blocked away. And Devlin busts it out over the blue line.
Ooh.
Great passing there, Ross and Devlin. And Devlin just wide of the net with a little tap, little deflection. Devlin in front of the net, left alone, takes a shot and ricochets off a pad and into the timber.
Yeah, that was a pretty good offensive zone play. It's always fun. I get to play with Devlin sometimes in social leagues, and he has a really good vision.
He's fancy.
Sets you up nicely,
He's fancy. But it was nice to see that was a little bit of toing and throwing, and Mako's getting into the Stampede zone there. Face off McIntosh. And it rails around, and Mako's get it to the red line. Lockie Fear spins around and fires it back in. Chalice giving chase, and it's batted down the ice. Icing waved off. Oh.
Yeah.
Icing called. Sorry. Thought it was waved off. Wake up, David. Big shout out to Richie Heather and the clan. Cash and Kingston and Tanner. I know you're watching. And thanks for your work last night. Little on ice action between the first and second period. Shot from the point.
It's a beautiful face-off.
Yeah, that set piece.
Net's off, right? No.
Yeah, net's been knocked off its moorings, so. With me, I have Kelly Nelson. She's a veteran Wild player representing Queenstown, and you've got a game next weekend in Christchurch.
Yeah, it's a exhibition game. We're very excited. It'll be fun to get some skating in.
All right, and go up to Christchurch. Coach Colin getting you guys prepared. Shot, Freer, close range, point blank range, but great work as it rolls out, and Mako's march over losing it in the slot and turn it around where Chalice picks it up on the red line. Chalice over the blue line, hammers on the brakes, loses it offside.
You know, if you don't know hockey, a lot of times if you're not over 18, you have to wear a full visor, a cage. So there's only a couple on the Stampede that are wearing a cage right now, under 18.
Is that McIntosh? He's wearing a full cage.
And Burns.
No. And Burns, yeah. Rusky Jones tries to set up Roby. Can't collect it. And it goes behind the net. Roby gives chase. Leaves for McCullum. To Hurley in the corner. Chamberlain and Hurley battle for it. Hurley rails it back around the other side. McCullum keeps it in. And it finally bounces out to the red line where Burns picks it up. Cross ice. Roby misses his mark. And icing is waved off, so continue to play behind the net. Burns keeping it in. Wimmer pushing on him, and it rails behind the net. Rusky Jones with it, takes it to the corner, being heavily dogged by a couple of the Makos. Wide angle shot by McCullum, and it's finally tapped out to the red line where Burns picks it up. Burns beats Wimmer over to McCullum. McCullum takes a shot outside the blue line, right on target though. And Chamberlain tries to march it out. Lost the puck, and it was a great work by Ross and Devlin, but still not in the net. Back to the point, Amston. Amston taps it to the corner. Chamberlain rails it up. And it finally rolls out to the neutral zone where Amston picks it up. Cross ice to Freer. Freer can't get it up to Harrison. Luke Talon skates it over the blue line, and it ends up behind the net. Devlin taps it up. Rusky Jones it up. And the Makos can't control it in that Stampede zone. Oh, McIntosh robbed. Centering. Sebastian Stephen working really hard there in the corner, working against Colin McIntosh, but it's knocked all the way back into Mako's territory. Rusky Jones with it. Cross ice to nobody picked that up except for Chalice. To Freer, who taps it into the corner. And comes back to Chalice, who's shot and scores.
It's a beautiful shot.
Feathers it in.
Yes.
It was kind of that pass. Nobody actually went for it. It just ended up on his stick.
Yeah.
Beautiful work.
Yeah, if you have a chance to clear the zone, you definitely want to against the Stampede. You don't want to take a risk.
Yeah, what's Coach Colin say? Never passing in front of the net, which is exactly what happened there.
Yep.
And yeah, funny nobody picked that up. Oh well. 14-26 in the first period. 1-0 for the Stampede. Burns with it in his own zone. Roby taps it off the boards to Rusky Jones over the blue line. Shot gathered up nicely and held on. Great work by Joel Gerard.
We call him the future, Joel the future Gerard.
Yeah, young Joel.
Yeah, we miss him here in Queenstown, but great to see the opportunities getting up north.
Yeah, played a great game there last weekend too. That
yes.
Wonderful to see. Shot through a couple people from True. Just off the mark. In the corner is Rusky Jones battling for it. Roby can't collect that. Burns said hello. Hayden Channing.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, bumped off, and here's the chance. Makos just squeezed out there in the slot. Great work to get it into the zone, but that's not all of it. You got to get it on. Like I say, so you march it down the ice, and so you get past them. You still got, the goaltender, Brooksy there.
Oh yeah.
That you have to get it past, which is difficult on its own. Face off to the right of Brooks. Freer up but not out. Shot from Rusky Jones, Ollie Rusky Jones, on target. Goes to the corner. And it's behind the net. Ross, Devlin, across to Harrison. Boogies up that right side. Takes it behind the net. Sets up the point. Ross takes a nice shot. A slider, but it's kicked to the corner. McCollum left untouched as he skated in front.
Did that get deflected off of something? Or
Yeah,
was it
came.
shot?
No, it came off a stick and off the glass and into the dead zone. So that's whistle dead.
You blink, you miss it in ice hockey.
Yes. Face off to the left of Gerard. Up. Somebody didn't like that face off. Linesman, I think Ben Rado, dropping the puck to the left of Gerard. Back to that point. That set
Beautiful
piece.
face off. You want to try to avoid getting a shot through on that.
Harrison he sunk 2 last night. I was talking to his mom earlier, and she says, finally he found the back of the net. He's found every other piece of the net, but the back. Crossbars and posts, but finally, yeah. So he's pretty happy about that.
I love the honesty there.
Yeah, mothers.
Yes, they know best.
Yeah. Again, face off again. Doesn't quite make it to Harrison, so Mako's tap it up and all the way into SkyCity zone. McDonald, huge work there from him. And Mako's working really hard to keep it in that Stampede zone. And finally knocked out Barry bashes it in just over the blue line. And shot easily tipped to the corner by Brooks. But the Makos are keeping it in for the moment. And there you have one for the fans.
Yeah.
Face off on the offside dot, closest to where the shot was taken. McIntosh facing off against Otis. And it rolls into Stampede zone. Back to the point. Shot. Brooks stops it, bobbles it. Not sure if that was just for show.
Oh, always. As I said yesterday, I had the game on at work, and not a lot of people know ice hockey where we were. And they asked what those 4 circles are in the middle right there.
Yeah, they're special circles.
Yeah, I said they're nothing to do with the sport. It's for curling.
Another ice sport. Yeah, curling. So this is a multi-purpose arena. Mako's tried to rail it around, but off the dead zone net. Queenstown Ice Arena has that slippery situation with that very low ceiling that is tricky for visiting players. Finally, Stampede knock it up and into Mako's territory.
Oh.
And great pass by Colin McIntosh. I believe that was Chalice, I think, or Freer. And
it was Chalice.
And takes the shot. Joel Gerard saves it, but I think it...
A little bit of a quick whistle.
And then the whistle blows, and when Joel wiggled, the puck rolled in.
Yeah.
But again, that was a quick shot, and Gerard did great to get a huge piece of that.
There we go.
And again, that set piece. Chalice with it on the blue line, skates it across along the blue line, looking for that pass. Heavily dogged there, though. Some great work by William Barry. Puck rolling around. Once again, the Stampede are kind of closing in, and all that Makos can do is just bang it out to get an icing, to get a breath, and a reset. Early in this game, Joel Gerard forced to make some serious saves.
Yes, he's getting peppered out there.
Yeah, I think the Makos owe him a beverage. Rusky Jones facing off against Luke Talon. To the left of Gerard. Stampede controlling, that's Hurley. Spins, shoots, on the money. But Gerard just kicks it to the corner. Rusky Jones rails it up, tries to get it up and out. Where Axel Rusky Jones taps it up to Hurley. Hurley boosts it over the red line. Roby, backhand, just wide of the net. True's in deep against Rusky Jones as Roby covers for him. Ollie Rusky Jones clears to the far side. Mako's over the red line, fire it in. True picks that up behind the net. Hurley, cross ice to Roby. Roby's got himself some room. Shot, and Gerard snaps that up. I believe that was going to be wide anyway, but...
I mean, not here to make assumptions, but...
No.
It was a beautiful pass.
Yes, great pass.
Yep.
Yeah, and...
See what we do on the face-off here.
You see Tristan Bryant out there. Chamberlain on defense. And Barry clears it to the red line. Burns still has it. Schwartz out there for a skate. Comes off his skate. Burns in the corner. Sebastian Stephen battling for it against Burns. And it's cleared up. Only to the blue line. McCullum against the boards. He bangs it out to Harrison on the red line. Burns saucers it across. And Sebastian Stevens puts it up to the blue line, and it's turned over. And Burns has it. Burns looking for that long pass. Hits Freer. Freer centers, and Devlin couldn't collect it. There's a chance for Mako. It's a rolling puck, though. Shot, but bounced out of Brooks's pads behind the net. Picked up by the Makos. Mako's setting it up behind the net. But Anston bounces that out away, and it rolls to the neutral zone. Picked up by Jesse Hutchins, who taps it into the red line. Chalice picks that up. McIntosh back skates all the way down the boards behind the net. Chalice. Puck rolls behind the net as McIntosh glided across the crease trying to pick up Chalice's pass. I think they've done that once or twice before. That old chestnut. So Freer back to Amston. Amston to Chalice. Hutchins chased by Amston. Can't clear it. Puck's in front. Bit of scramble there as Chalice just bats it in behind the net where McIntosh picks it up. Battling against Oliver Berry. And it's tapped finally to the red line. Luke dumps it in. Luke Tellen dumps it in, and it rolls behind the net where Freer picks it up. Chalice hits Freer. He taps it to the corner. Rusky Jones pushing hard against his brother. Burns with it on the point. Shot. Stick blocked that shot. There was a bit of net there. And Burns can't collect that along the boards. It's finally turned up and over. As Burns knocks Luke Tallon to the ice. I think that caught a bit of post there and hit some timber.
And you got to give it to the Mako. I feel tonight they're coming out a bit stronger. They played together one night. It's a different group each time. So that's hard to get that first game on your rhythm a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. When you haven't worked together for game after game after game, it's difficult to know. Hurley. And the puck's tangled up in the bodies out on the blue line. Finally turned up. Shot. Not on. And another quick shot. And another one. But it rolls across the slot untouched. Chamberlain off of Roby's skate. Kicked into the Mako zone. And Mako struggling to just get a handle on that bouncing puck. Finally they do. Good passing. But that big stone wall at the blue line just stops him, turns it around. McCullum now marching it out of his own zone. Over the red line. McCullum.
I was going to say, might have been a little bit of an offsides there.
I think Devlin was trying to be a little bit sneaky on this close side.
You have James Allen Photography here, taking some great photos again. He really elevates the sport, gives people some great memories to take home.
Shot by Ross from the high slot. And Mako's collect it over the blue line. Behind the net. Only 5 minutes, just over 5 minutes left in this first period. Man, it's chewed up.
Yeah.
Harrison over the red line, blue line. Takes it to the corner, around behind the net. Tripped, but no penalty called. Harrison's digging for it in front. Digging and somehow it's covered up. I think Joel's toe covered it up or something there, tucked on that corner, Kelly.
And it was good positioning by the D, getting behind that and ensuring it didn't slip past either.
Yeah.
From the Mako.
Connor Harrison's, he's quite a big unit. To push him off the puck would be a fair bit of work. Shot scores.
Right off the face-off.
I'm not sure who took that.
Connor.
Must have been Connor.
Connor, yep. We'll have to interview his mom after the game.
Yeah.
And we have Bob and Mary dancing over there during the goal song, which is always fun to see.
Yeah. Fairly large crowd tonight. I think just shy of being sold out, which is great to see on a Saturday night here in Hockeytown. Schwartz battling for it in the corner, or along the board, sorry, and it rolls to the corner. And Stampede start to move it out over the blue line. Can't hit Schwartz, and it's picked up by Logan Campbell, who rails it up and around, but poorly contained where McIntosh picks up the loose puck. Amston shot, pushed to the side, and glove. Good time for a few sponsors.
Yeah, as you know, we have our naming sponsor, the SkyCity Stampede. Also, Tile Max is a team sponsor. AWS Legal, Queenstown Health, keeping the boys in shape, physio, chiro. I know they all love to get on the table before and after the game.
Yeah.
Especially when they're a bit older.
Exactly.
They might need it more than the Mako.
Centering, high slot, Freer takes a shot, deflected high. Leaving Freer unguarded in that high slot's quite dangerous. McIntosh takes a shot, puck rolls to the behind the net, then tapped out to Freer, who takes a shot. Puck rolling in front, everybody's swinging at it, and Chamberlain picks it up in the corner. It's finally kicked out to the red line. Saucered back in by Freer. Chamberlain picks it up. Chamberlain marches blue line, red line. Big tangle there against Hurley. A couple of the Makos go down, and Freer ends up with it. Red line shot, and Gerard. Yeah, Freer's got a bit of a shot from the red line.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Never want to get in front of that.
Yeah, well, Joel's easily handled that with nobody in his way.
Yep.
But I guess a little deflection would change the result there. Between the first and second period, we got the little ones skating, so stay tuned. That'll be quite interesting. It's always good for a laugh, but the interesting thing is all of these local Queenstown boys were there once.
Oh, yes.
You know, and the Wild girls were just little munchkins.
Yeah, really makes you feel old when you start playing against them.
Yeah, exactly.
Or with them.
Yeah. You've spent some time helping these young ones out, Kelly.
Yeah.
And now they're like, ooh, gosh, they're getting a little slippery, like a little bit quick.
Can't catch up with them anymore.
Yeah. Well, I know, well and truly know that feeling. Makos to the red line. Nobody gets a handle on it. Finally, march it in front. Tap, deep slot, but nobody could get a piece of it, and it was pushed to the boards. Or Roby misses Rusky Jones on a pass in front of the net. Burns can't fire it in. Rusky Jones can't quite hit Hurley, and Makos can't quite clear it. Hurley with it in the corner. McCullum to Roby. Roby behind the net. Muscled off the puck. Hurley point back to Roby behind the net. Centers. No one there to pick it up, so Burns collects it on the red line. Across to McCullum. Rusky Jones now steps in over the blue line, and great shot, but even a better glove save by.
It was a great neutral ice regroup as well. Pass in.
Yeah. They're noted for that.
It's fun to see all the brother combinations out here.
Yeah.
On both teams, playing against, playing with.
Yeah. Who do you think Mina's cheering for? Which of the Rusky Joneses? Shot on Joel again. Face off to the right. See if this set piece comes up again with Devlin facing off. Nope.
I saw in the last run the player, I believe it was number 17, came through, but the ref blew the whistle because it wasn't a legal face-off. But it was a good idea. They need to start doing more.
Yeah, got to break up that as Ollie Rusky Jones off the boards from behind the net, and it rolls to the red line. Devlin.
Yeah.
And hand pass where Ross couldn't. Devlin, it was more about protecting his body from that puck. We were talking last night about Devlin. Have you ever seen him not smiling?
No.
No, I don't think it's possible. We call it a resting smiling face. Great to see. Loving his sport. Out there having fun.
And a lot of these players do love it. And,
I think he got a couple, one or two penalties the other night, and, just smiling as he goes to the bench. Which is, other players are grimacing or arguing.
Yeah.
Leonard Wimmer. Marcus McDonald, and it's in the corner. Wimmer giving chase against Amston. Cross ice pass. Great work there by Ross, centering. A little bit high, and Ross picks it up behind the net, centers deep slot, and Dylan Devlin couldn't get a piece of it as Marcus McDonald steps over and bounces it. Oh,
slippery.
Yes. Otis and McDonald working hard together.
Oh, yes.
To push that in. It was a little bit of confusion in front of them, but fantastic. That's 2-1 game, Kelly.
I know, here we go.
But I don't know if they want to wake the Giant.
I know.
They get all angry up.
Less than 2 minutes left as well in the first period.
Yeah, first period almost over here. McDonald intercepts the pass. Shot, off of Chamberlain's leg. Last night, Chamberlain took a couple of really good hits off of Amston's slap shots from the point. So he's a sucker for punishment, but he gets in the way. And Mako's march it out as over the blue line. Shot off a skate behind the net. Trying to center. Puck rolling in front. Still rolling in front. Kick to the boards. Shot in front, but no one there. Turned around by Chalice. Freer can't contain it, so Mitchell Freer does some fancy work as so it looks like I think one of the defensive players covered up the puck in front of the net. We'll get some more detail on that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
Just
there we go, keeping it interesting.
Yeah. So less than a minute left.
Just keeping us on our toes.
Yeah. But nobody knew where that puck was. It rolled. Joel Gerard was facing the other way. Puck was sitting in front. So.
They have Callum Burns taking
Callum Burns taking the shot. Wouldn't be the first time that Joel Gerard's taken a shot from Callum Burns.
No.
So we'll see what the results here are.
See if Sarah's on the stands, probably holding her breath. That's Joel's mom.
Yes. Deep breath. Burns over the blue line.
Beautiful play by Burns.
5-hole slide. I think Joel got a piece of that, though, but not enough of it. Unfortunate.
Take notes on that one.
Yeah. Big shout out to all the other Wild players. Don't practice Tuesday night. Don't be late.
Yep.
Don't. Coach Cullen would not be impressed. It's Roby over the blue line. Centers, no one can pick it up, and Mako's march it up. Shot, wide angle on Brooks. Big tangle in front. It's rolling around in that slot, but nobody can get a swing at it.
Ollie dumped it in.
Amston can't do anything with it in the corner. He gets it back. Muscle up against the boards by Stefan. And that ends that first period. That was an interesting ending, you know. It definitely didn't slow down. We'll turn the... Anyway, well, we're going to end up with a little bit of a kids' game in between the periods. Great to see them doing their thing. The Makos will stand on one blue line, Stampede on the other.
Or Neil, either or.
I think usually one of the goaltenders from each team.
It's usually the goalie that's not playing hops in. So we have Jake Thompson and Joel Hasselman.
Oh, look at this. You got some names for us, Kelly? Do you know some of these little ones?
I think I need glasses, but yes,
we
that's Mackenzie.
Yeah, we got all three routes.
Mason and Levi.
Yeah, Mason, Levi, and Mackenzie route. Mackenzie in the pink helmet. Great to see. Shot on net, scores. So that was the Lightning or the Flash getting early points. Now the Phantoms marching it up. All the way in, skating. Big battle for it, and Hasselman's beaten. So 1-1. Once again, big work by the Phantoms, breaking it out. And Hasselman beaten again. Oh my goodness, 2-1. Woo. Even though the Lightning Bolts, the Flash took the early lead, but it's turned around now, 2-1.
So it's real fun. The U12s have, and Learn to Plays have a superhero league. They do games every Thursdays, I believe, and they get superhero awards and trophies, prizes. Kids just have a blast.
Wonderful.
Ooh, rebound. Nice.
And scores. Quick little backhand.
Yeah. And I believe, if I remember correctly, the U12s and Learn to Plays have a tournament here tomorrow.
Yes.
At the Queenstown Ice Arena.
Yeah. Which is always great to watch. Puck rolls all the way down. Chance for the Flash. That's route.
Yeah, they put all the routes together tonight, probably on purpose.
Shot just wide of the net. Mackenzie just celebrating her 6th birthday last week.
Wow.
Probably one of the youngest ones out there next to, there's a couple of young ones out there. Great to see.
Ooh,
scores.
What a shot.
Yes. So here's Mason route. Can't carry. And Levi route. hanging around that center dot. Finally moves into the play.
There's Mason.
Mason again has a bit of room to move.
Nice defensive play.
Puck knocked off his stick. Got some great work there by the Lightning Bolt. So these kids will be playing tomorrow then?
Yeah, tomorrow. I believe it's in the morning. Probably have to look it up, but maybe roughly 9 to 2?
Nice.
8 to 2, 8 to noon.
Richie, if you can, send us some time. We'll put that on. That'd be great. Oh, well, that is the end of the first period and the end of the little ones game. We're going to take a break. We'll bring you the second period. I'm Dave Dubnick.
Kelly Nelson.
And we're back here in the second period.
Woo.
Battle between the SkyCity Stampede and the Auckland Makos. Tough ending to that first period, Kelly. You know, penalty shot from Colin Burns, sinks one past Joel Gerard. I mean, it was 2-1, 3-1, far closer.
2-goal lead is the most dangerous to have in ice hockey.
Good point. So puck is dropped. Burns in his own zone. Can't hit Ross. He bumps it into Mako's zone. It's along the boards. Richie or Jono, if you could just let me know what you think of this sound. We've tried to fix the sound, so let me know. Shot from the point from Amston. Always dangerous. But flash of the leather. And Joel Gerard snaps that up. Face off to the right of Gerard.
Looks like the crowd came in.
Yeah, it's steadily increasing. Must be getting cold outside.
Yeah.
Maybe a rugby game is over or something. Amston with it in his own zone. Burns on the blue line. Just to the red line. And Makos pick it up, but turn it over to Devlin. Devlin to Ross on the red line. Ross steps over the blue line. Dogged by Chamberlain. Cross to Burns. Burns. Shot. Great block. By Saraco. But Stampede march it back in behind the net. And Harrison passes to no one. The seventh player on the ice. No one there, and he ends up all the way down the ice.
Nice save by
Colin. We used to call those cherry pickers. Both Colin and Freer were sitting on the blue line while the rest of the team boogied all the way down the ice, do all the hard lifting. And Colin hits Freer, and Freer takes that massive slap shot right into Joel's gut pad.
The bullseye.
The bullseye, yeah. Chalice shot, scores. That's McIntosh with a little deflection. Can't leave Cullen unattended there. That near post. Chalice's, it was a great little wrist shot, saucer.
Yeah.
And nobody could pick that up. 4-1 for the SkyCity Stampede early in this second period. Crowd's liking that. Face off, McIntosh up against Stephen. Makos behind their own net, up but not out. It's in the corner, centering with Chalice. True just taps it back in, or sorry, Mitchell Freer just taps it back in. It's in front of the net. McIntosh wipes out.
Slow to get up.
Is there? Oh, there's a trip.
Yeah.
Yes, it looks like Logan Campbell tripping his old teammate.
Just smiling on his way.
Yeah.
It is fun to see the dynamic between the players who play together, and they're just having fun out there playing against each other.
Thanks for that, Glenn. Sounds like our sound is working a little better. We apologize for that sound. It wasn't me.
Might have been a gift. They didn't have to hear us as well.
Now everybody's going to be cranking the volume down.
Yeah.
So that's Ollie Rusky Jones clearing but not out. Amston picks it up on the blue line. Burns back to Amston, back to Burns. Freer takes a shot. Behind the net goes Devlin.
Nice getting out of the zone.
Can't keep it in. Rolls all the way back onto Brooks' stick. Amston in his own zone. Burns on the red line. Boogies up over the blue line, leaves for Devlin. Devlin leaves for Amston on the blue line. Freer feeds Harrison behind the net. Back to Harrison. And behind the net, trying the wraparound is Devlin, that old chestnut.
Took that one off the Ollie Rusky Jones.
Oh, was it off his Rusky Jones's?
Yeah, it was a bit of a tricky one.
Unfortunate. He doesn't look happy.
No.
Can you tell me about Colin's face? What's going on there? Why he has a face?
Yeah, he took a shot when he was in Bulgaria playing for the Ice Blacks, and it shattered his nose, so he has some pieces floating around there. He has to wear a cage.
Okay.
It's not by choice, I don't
No.
think.
We were talking the other day. He says it's hard to see through that. It's like, no.
The girls have to do it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but it's like he's in jail all the time. Stop it, David. Don't go there. Mako's keeping it in. And McCollum taps it from behind the net. Great work there. Roby to Rusky Jones, can't quite get a piece of it, but it rolls into Mako territory, into the corner. Roby. Being dogged there by Finn Lippard. Stampede back to the point is McCollum. McCollum tries to put it on net. It's bounced away. Roby, again, his shot deflected wide. Lippard can't clear. Forced back behind the net. Makos are looking tired. They need a change. Centering. Spectacular
Nice
save. Rusky
yes.
Jones was robbed there
Wow.
by the big breadboard of Joel Gerard. That was spectacular.
Take notes.
Slide across. Yeah, future Joel.
Yeah.
Joel 2.0.
2.0.
McIntosh facing off for the Stampede. Again, Stephen. Makos march it in. McDonald across centering and scores! Marcus McDonald. Looks like Marcus McDonald again did a lot of work there, but Sebastian Stevens, I think, possibly the one that actually sunk it. A lot of bit of scramble in front of the net. Brooksy won't be happy about that.
No.
Tony, oh, what do you think about that? Puck rolling around on the dot. Stefan over the blue line. Stefan leaves.
Nice pass.
Beautiful pass.
Oof.
Puck bouncing in front. Oh, great opportunity for Wimmer, but it just gets deflected wide as that puck rolled around in the deep slot. Chalice, saucer pass, hits McIntosh on the red line. McIntosh being pushed around by Otis. And he had Logan Campbell on top of him as well. Takes three to tango there.
Yeah.
Mako's have a little bit of fire in their belly at the moment.
Yeah, they do. Wonder what the in-between period pep talk was. It works.
Yeah, it worked, yeah. 2 goals scored early in this second period. In the corner, Mako centering, deflected outside onto the red line. Rusky Jones taps it to the red line. That's just backhanded in by Otis. And Amson picks that up. Can't get it out though. Otis.
Now an opportunity to get a change.
Yeah, change. Devlin over the blue line. Devlin's got Ross drifting in quietly in front of the net. Burns carries it in a bit. Can't get the shot away. Lead pass to Channing. And finally a shot, and Brooks covers that up. Wow.
Yeah, it was a nice clear shot too.
Great end-to-end hockey. You know, I think that goal, the goal that was scored on the Mako maybe woke them up a bit.
Yeah.
Face off to the right of Brooks. Hurley with it now. Can't hit Rusky Jones, but it still rolls to Mako's zone. Bounced back to the neutral zone, back into Mako's zone. Jones to Robbie. Robbie takes a shot. deflected off Jesse Hutchins' pads. Roby carries behind the net. It rolls onto the red line with Burns across to True. True off the boards. And a puck, dangerous puck rolling up inside the blue line. Roby picks it up, takes a shot wide of the net. Hurley backs it around behind the net. Amston. Big shot by Burns.
Oh, hi
Yeah, lots of noise.
Headhunting.
Yeah. Rusky Jones takes a shot from the slot, but doesn't make it. Stampede seem to have a bit of heat on at the moment as the Makos are looking for a change, I'm sure. Trapped in their zone. Second period, the long walk to your bench. Hutchins taps it up to the blue line.
Yeah, in the second
Cullen.
period, you always want to change before you have to.
Yep.
Oof.
Change when you can, not when you want to.
Yep.
Mako's marching it out. Oh, big open ice hit.
Biggest hit of the night.
Yeah, the biggest hit. Sheesh. Is that Bryant, I think?
Yeah. Here we go. Oh.
And Cullum's taken down.
Yeah.
And I think there's a tripping penalty involved there. Boy, that was a huge hit.
Yeah.
I think that was Sebastian Stevens and Bryant. I think it was Sebastian Stevens. But, yeah, just heads up hockey.
Yeah. Looks like they're okay, though. Back on bantering on the bench.
I'm sure they'll be arguing whose fault it is.
Yeah. Takes two.
Yeah. Some say Colin is like a glass half full kind of guy, and some say Colin is a glass half empty kind of guy. But whatever happens, he just smashes the glass. I keep playing off that last weekend.
I forget your Dave jokes.
Yeah, if anyone missed it, Dunedin game last weekend, Colin McIntosh smashed the glass behind and it was, the Enigma stick. It wasn't Colin, it was the Enigma stick that did it. All right, speaking of McIntosh, leaves for McCullum, and McIntosh can't handle it, and it rolls all the way back into Stampede territory. McCullum drags behind his own net, feeds Chalice. Chalice across to Ross. Ross over the blue line, slams on the brakes. Freer tries, centers it, low slot, no one there to pick it up. Chalice back to the point where McIntosh takes a shot.
Joel was without a stick for a moment there.
That was a good shot by Colin, right on target. But Joel Gerard makes a great save. McIntosh can't keep it in. Here's Otis, shot wide. And Chalice picks that puck up. McCullum with it on the red line. McCullum, McIntosh.
Oh, and a goal.
Upstairs, where the real expensive whiskey is kept. Top shelf. Well, that kind of stretches it out. Like I say, you don't want to anger those Giants because it's 5-2 with 10:49. Big hello to Bex and Glenn. Great to hear you watching. Hugging the fire probably. Got popcorn. Hope you're having a great weekend. We'll see you tomorrow night, Bex.
Got a game?
Yeah, got a game. You know, not quite at this pace. Those social leagues. It's a lot of work for a beverage at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Behind the net is Amston. Swartzy picks it up, taps it up, and Harrison can't quite get to it. Ollie Rusky Jones, cross ice. It's Tyler Chandler, another out of the Queenstown stables.
Tyler and Jesse Hutchins.
Yeah, oh gosh, yeah, all the Rusky Joneses. Devlin over the red line. Quick shot off a skate. Forced to the corner. Ollie. Rusky Jones takes it behind the net. Puck rolls out. Chandler. Or Hutchins can't collect it on the blue line. Here's a chance now. Over the blue line. Shot. Nice shot. Puck bounces off the glass right in front of the net, but no one there to collect it. That was a great opportunity there for the Makos. Barry up to Addis. Aiden Channing. And then it rolls to the corner. Hurley with it now. Corner pushed against the boards. Channing fighting for it behind the net. And Freer finally collects it. Roby over to Hurling. Centers. No one there. Over the red line. Fires it down. As the Makos get a change. Burns with it in his own zone. True. Backhands to Hurley. Chamberlain taps it just onto Burns' stick, so it's turned over. Left for Rusky Jones, who takes a shot wide. Chamberlain with it in the corner. And the Makos get it out to the red line. True picks it up across the Freer. That's Lockie Freer. Burns taps to True. Chalice back to Burns. Burns forward. And gathered up.
I think it's a good time to thank a couple of the sponsors, as you see on the back of the jersey. There's LBRP Consulting, and on the front we have Tile Max. This is a pay-to-play league, and sponsors are a heavy part of getting these men on the ice. So huge thank you to them.
I haven't heard if the Rosses or the McCullums are watching from overseas. I think it's about 3 in the morning over in the North America where they're from. But if they are watching, here's a chance from Marcus McDonald. Shot right on the money, right on the bullseye, and it's deflected into the dead zone. Yes, if you are watching from overseas, I'm sure you're having a great summer.
Oh, yes.
We're in the not the throes of winter, but short days. Only less than a month left, Kelly, and then we start getting longer days, which will be nice. McCullum can't clear it out. The puck rolls high slot. Wimmer controlling, thumps himself into the boards where Amston picks it up, hits Chalice, and McIntosh ends up with it in Mako's zone. Back to the point. Amston. Shot on the money. Jones clears it, but it rolls back onto Amston's stick, and he takes another shot.
Not sure if we can be heard right now, but there's a little bit of a problem with the stream.
Oh, might be just camera, so they might have.
We're just resetting
Imagine
it now.
that. So you better turn your volume up because you got nothing else.
Yeah. Shot by McIntosh. High.
So apparently there's no view. So we'll have to keep you posted like the old days, back when I was little, listening to the game on the radio. Chalice battling for it in the corner. Big hit by McIntosh, tangling up with Marcus McDonald. And Lockie Freer sinks one from the face-off dot. So
shout out to Luana, who's watching. She just let us know there's no picture as well. They're actively working on it.
Yes. Audio trouble, no, video trouble is temporary. Please do not adjust your set.
Lachlan Freer just had a great goal.
Yeah, boy, did you? Yeah, don't start that. Boy, did you miss something, you guys? So
Lee is up here trying to work on it.
Puck is dropped off that center ice dot. Freer across to Burns. Burns taps it up over the red line to Harrison. And it's turned over into the Mako stick in the neutral zone over the blue line. Mako's along the boards. Rail it around to the corner. They get it up but not out. Battling for it in the corner is Devlin. Pushing hard against Sebastian Stevens. And it rolls around to the other boards. And Stampede bang it down the ice, and icing is the call.
All right, I know you can hear us on this stream. I also have just put the stream on the Wild Facebook page live.
On the Wild Facebook page.
I don't have access to the Stampede one, but we want video with it too.
Wow, look at you, Miss Techie.
Might have some shaky hands, but the team is actively working on it.
Face off to the right of Brooks. Puck drop. Freer carries behind the net, rails it along the boards. As Devlin passes to Chan just over the blue line. Devlin picks up the puck behind the net. Battling for it. And finally, Logan Campbell digs it out over the blue line, over the red line. Logan Campbell picks up the puck, carries it along the boards, back to the point where Chamberlain takes a shot off a body to the corner. Campbell against the boards, being dogged by, I think that was Harrison. And it's fired all the way back down into Mako territory, and icing is the call. Campbell's got an elbowing. He's so tall, his elbows are everywhere. Harris, but you know, unlucky.
And his younger brother Blake Campbell is following in his footsteps as well.
So power play here for the SkyCity Stampede. You know, if you weren't filming this, no one is watching. We could say anything. Amston shot from the point.
All right, it looks like the team got it back up and running, so.
It could have been the sun flares, maybe.
I'm gonna turn my phone off now.
I hope that's better now, Bex. Thanks for that.
I've never done a live stream on my phone.
Across to Amston, Amston across to True. Feeding Hurley in the corner. Remember, just reminding you that while you weren't watching, the Makos got themselves, Logan Campbell got an elbowing penalty. So Stampede are 5-on-4. Roby, Amston. And Roby back to True and across to Amston. And the shot from True. And it bounces onto the red line where Amston just skates it in. Back to the point. Roby across to True on the blue line. Hurley in the corner. Skates it back to the blue line. Roby in the corner. Back to Amston. Great work by Marcus McDonald. Man, he does some heavy lifting.
Yeah, I heard he's born in Canada.
Oh,
probably.
Yeah,
been here for a while now, but living in Auckland.
It's hard, you know, born with skates on in Canada.
Yeah.
Makos march it up and all the way out, roll it all the way down the ice. Brooksy stops that. Chalice taps it back to True, and McIntosh over the blue line and it's tapped off his stick. True feeds McIntosh, skates it back in over the blue line. McIntosh shot deflected by Rusky Jones. Chalice on the point, across to McCollum. McCollum fakes the shot, one-time it, and
nice.
Burns powers that shot through, actually through Joel. He got so much of that, and we all saw the puck dribbled through him, bouncing.
Great passing. I know we lost the stream for a bit, but just huge thanks to Max and James who are working up here. They've rigged something up where it's not the usual system, but they got it working.
What do you call that? Kiwi ingenuity, barbed wire, duct tape. kind of MacGyver-like, you know.
Yeah.
Piece of chewing gum and a paper clip. They could make a helicopter. These guys are fantastic.
Offsides call.
So we're sitting at 2 minutes, 36 seconds in this second period, 8-2-2.
You see all the volunteers from the Queenstown Ice Hockey Club around. Big thanks to that. You see their head coach, JC, coaching the Mako.
Yeah, it's a small town, but a big heart for hockey.
So much support for junior, women's, men's, beginners.
Yeah, Ross on the blue line. Boogie's over the blue line. Leaves.
Oh, that was gorgeous.
Leaves for Devlin, who is in mid-slot. And instead of passing across, he just puts it back to Devlin.
Put that one on the highlight tape.
A little bit of that is about knowing where everybody's going to be, which, again, we keep talking about. The Makos just can't do that because they just don't have the same team each week.
Not yet, but it's also that's something you learn as well.
Yeah.
And you bounce off each other and you learn from the players out here. You rewatch the film.
Right on. You know, it's a knowing where each person is going to be.
I know a few of the Stampede players rewatch their game footage after every game, comment on it, take notes.
There's a lead from Mac. McCollum skates in, passes, and Rusky Jones finally sinks one.
He needed that after Joel robbed him earlier with that beautiful save. And
once again, Rusky Jones is a guy that has hit everywhere but in the back of the net.
Yeah.
So we're at 10-2.
Axel is one that went to Florida this past season, and I think he heads back there at the end of this season to play again for a second year.
Over to North America.
Yeah.
Wow.
Florida. You know, the new Taylor Swift song.
Ollie's in. His younger brother is also playing in North America, I believe, or did at least last Canadian season.
Kiwis all over the world.
Yeah. Chalice, cross ice. One time, Frere to Amston. And Mako struggling to get it over the red line. Picked up by Chalice. Chalice feeds McIntosh, who feeds Frere. Sorry. Stangled up in sticks and skates. And the puck's banged back into Stampede area. Amston with it. Cautiously stick handling. McDonald over the blue line, or McIntosh over the blue line. Skates behind the net. Cross ice, broken up. And a bit of a hit from True, which takes them into the boards. And offsides call.
Just a reminder to all the fans out there, if you want to see the games in person, the tickets are on Event Finder. So head over there, get your ticket, because these games do sell out.
Yeah, you get them early.
And then you see a lot of those on people looking for tickets on the Queenstown Trading because they missed out. So.
Yeah, if you've never been here, it's something you got to do. And then you don't have to listen to you and I, Kelly.
I don't know. You're pretty professional at this. I love it.
Got nothing else to do on a Friday night.
They're lucky to have it's Saturday, Dave.
Oh, no, in Canada it's Friday.
Okay, there you go.
Devlin across ice to Ross. Ross over the blue line. Only seconds left, 20 seconds left in this second period. So Stampede will be still fighting for one more goal. Centering it, no one there. And Stefan over the red line, fires it in. Sebastian Stefan. And Dylan over the blue line, shot, and that ends that great shot by Dylan Devlin.
Right at the buzzer.
Yeah, but that ends the second period where we'll have a little bit. I think they do a shoot to win something now.
Fun. Last night someone won that, didn't they?
I don't know. I don't know if it went in, but he sure celebrated, like the fact that he hit the board or got the,
Fake it till you make it.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. So that Great shot, just about 200 millimeters
Well,
shy. And here it is, last possible chance. Oh, unlucky. All right. going. All right, we're back here. Third period. Battle between SkyCity Stampede and the Auckland Mako. A bit of a walkaway at the moment, 10-2. Mako scrambling. They got 2 goals, so Kelly, that was better than last night.
Yeah.
I think Sebastian, Steven got both of them, I think. But great workout. And SkyCity just that seasoned, well-practiced, well-rehearsed set plays, looking very good. All right, the puck is dropped. Mako's march it into SkyCity area. It's turned up by Roby. Taps it over the blue line, taps it in. Hurley can't pick it up behind the net, but then he does, again, battling against Rusky Jones. Centering, no one there. Good work by True. True can't quite keep it in. Rusky Jones with it on the blue line. Shot wide of the net. And it bounces to the blue line. Collected by McCollum. McCollum on the red line. Fires it back on target. Rusky Jones rails it around. Taps it up to the red line. Off of Connor Harrison's skate. Great work there by the Makos to get it into SkyCity territory. And Freer with it now. Harrison. Devlin taps it to the corner, leaving for Ross. Ross leaves for Devlin in the corner. Ross picks it up behind the net.
Looks like the Mako are playing a little more man-on-man coverage here. Yeah. Not leaving players, just giving them so much room like they were in the first.
And can't clear it with Chandler, and Devlin picked that up. Shot gathered up by Joel Gerard. Talking to the Rusky Joneses in the stands. Who are you cheering for? I said. And they said, our favorite son.
Oh, should I say?
No.
Okay.
They don't have them. You can decide who their favorite son is.
It's their daughter.
Oh.
Ruby.
Ruby's their favorite child. Yes. Don't say that out loud. Mina was just saying, just as long as they don't get, get in a scrap against each other. 2 teenage brothers. And Chamberlain behind his own net. Over the red line. But it's robbed, and Freer taps it up to the blue line. Ross takes a shot just wide, and it rolls all the way to the red line. Chance for William Barry. Skates it in, shot, and it rolls all the way back out, forcing an icing call.
We talked about the community in Queenstown for ice hockey, but it's also important to share that the Stampede support all the other teams as well with providing an opportunity to fundraise at their games.
Yeah.
U12s are here tonight. The U18s, U15s, the Wild, we all get opportunities to fundraise, do raffles at every home game.
All chasing that donation dollar, which is pretty tight at the moment.
Yep.
So big thank you to all you people that are contributing in any way you are. Volunteering, your time or your money.
Even by watching the stream, getting more exposure to the leagues.
Yeah. If you want to donate any money to the commentary retirement fund, you can see the number at the bottom of the screen.
You're not that old, are you, Dave?
Oh, I'm feeling it. The cold is creeping into my bones. All right, face off deep in the Stampede territory. McCollum in the corner, taps it up to Roby. Roby hits Rusky Jones, who gets it knocked off his stick by Bryant. Bryant to Rusky Jones. And the Makos are doing some great passing at the moment. Up, and finally they get it out. Bryant hitting Otis, but he can't do anything with it once he carries it over the blue line. It's a big stone wall there of yellow. Keane carries it over the blue line. Puck rolls behind the net. McCullum hits Roby. Roby just loses at the blue line. And once again, Stampede back in their own zone. Roby, McCullum. Over the red line. Hurley flicks it on net. Big wobbly.
Those are almost scarier than a direct shot.
Yeah, unpredictable. And McDonald with it in his own corner. Feeding up ice to Luke Tallon, who dumps it in. Centering, puck rolling in front, picked up by Amston, who carries it out. Great heads-up move by Amston.
Amston had a gorgeous tournament when they went to Worlds in Bulgaria.
Yeah, he's just gotten better. His shot from that blue line is spectacular. And he carries behind the net, speaking of Amston. Ross hits Amston and Harrison. Harrison tries everything, but he's denied. Trying to get that second goal of the night. And he can't keep it in as Mako's roughly push it out. True with it. True hits Ross on the far side. Ross on the red line. Stops. Burns boosts it up the middle of the ice. Tries to hit Freer in front of the net. Can't do it. And it's turned around. Off his skate. Chalice pushes it in. Behind the net is Chamberlain with it. Bounces up but not out. Finally it's in front. Little flick pass. Giving the Makos a chance for a line change. McIntosh sitting on the blue line again. Working smarter, not harder.
You have to when you get older.
Yeah. Oh. Burns with it, forced to give chase. Feeds Freer on the other side. And Burns.
Nice breakout.
Across the Chalice. Over to McIntosh, over the blue line. Dangles it. Flicks it. Nice little flick it over Joel's shoulder.
Yeah, it was just beautiful teamwork as well. Started at the breakout, the getting low, passed through center ice, the neutral zone.
Yes. So this next weekend, Kelly, tournament, big tournament. Yeah. I heard Paris Hyde on the radio the other day telling talking about the 3-on-3 big tournament here in Queenstown.
Yeah, 3-on-3 full ice, which is really fun. It's a lot of fitness. We used to have a league here in Queenstown on Monday nights. It's just extremely fun to play. It's the men's. I think teams are bringing their best, playing their best.
Yeah, 3-on-3, it changes the dynamics of the game.
Yeah, you have more time with the puck, a lot more room.
And a lot more, but you got to boogie a lot more.
A lot of cardio and a lot of skating.
And a lot of ice to cover if you're defending.
Unfortunately, we'll be in, unfortunately, in Canterbury.
We won't be able to see it. But I'm sure it'll be on.
It's live streamed, right?
Live stream, yeah. So we'll give you that news. So shot on. Ashton kind of lost control of the game, though. Shot on Ashton Brooks, covered up, and face off to the left of Brooksy.
You know, you're still seeing smiles on the Mako bench when they're getting off the ice, so
yeah,
that's something.
Sebastian Stevens facing off there, and it rolls behind the net. Chance for the Makos, being shot, tight corner shot. McDonald with it behind the net, being pushed around by Rescue Jones. McDonald has it still has it on the blue line, trying to carry it, trying to do a lot of it himself. Shot, puck bounces up, and there's a slash. So Roby's got himself, Jack Roby for the Stampede, got himself a slashing penalty, which gives an opportunity for
Mako.
I think Marcus McDonald was just frustrating him the way he was skating around.
I was going to say his edges are insane. He has some great.
I think he's been watching Colin McIntosh a little bit too much, the way he dangles.
If you just watch the play he just did, just the way he was using his edges and his leg work there.
Yeah, so you think of that as a young player,
yeah.
just a few years into this big leagues.
He's one to watch for sure.
Yeah, one to watch. Shot off of pads by McDonald. And it's railed around where True taps it up to Devlin. Devlin over the red line. Cross ice to Ross. Ross shot off of Hutchins, just gobbles that up. But it forces that face-off in the Mako territory.
Crowd dancing to the Vanga boys. Always a hit.
Yeah, loving this crowd atmosphere. Amston carries to the red line. Hits Devlin on the blue line. And Ross couldn't collect that pass from Devlin. And the Makos have it behind their own net.
Mako are on the power play right now.
Trying to march it out. Just banged back in by Freer from the red line. And Ross being harassed. But Mako's struggling to get a handle on it, needing control in order to set something up. Rusky Jones with it in the corner.
Stampede just got to change.
Cross ice. Sebastian can't quite get a handle on it, and that shot was just a little too tight. But the Makos have it in that zone. Pushing forward in front of the net. Big scramble, bit of a scrum. And whistle dead. So that was Barry who did some great work in there trying to get that shot away. It was just a little too tight. Makos have a face-off in the Stampede zone. Still 32 seconds left on that penalty to Roby. Chamberlain takes a shot, deflected, but just wide. And saucered all the way down the ice. Chamberlain picks that up. Cross ice. Can't quite reach it. Was Luke Talon. And it's deflected out. So the face-off will be in the offside on the center ice dot. McCullum, McIntosh, and Freer facing off with Chalice as well. So for the Stampede, so they've got the heavy guns out. Finn Leppard skates it in. Bangs it around behind the net, around the boards.
Full strength for Stampede now.
Yeah, Stampede did well to kill that penalty. McIntosh winds himself up behind the net. Can't get it past Bryant. And it's tapped back into the Stampede zone. And icing is the call. Some good work. McIntosh couldn't quite get it out, and they had to kind of just scramble to just tap it out, and it ends up going all the way down the ice.
It was a good step by Bryant, stepping up, snatching the puck.
Forcing the face-off deep in Stampede territory.
And it's 5-on-5.
Yeah, back. What do we got, Kelly? We got 10 minutes, 14 seconds left. Third period. Now this will probably end in 10 minutes, unless it goes to...
Sorry.
They need a goal a minute. McIntosh. Across to McCullum. McCullum hits Swartz. Who picks it up again over the blue line. And
not happy with that call.
No. So there'll be a chance for this.
I think we said thanks to the WT partnership for sponsoring as well of the Stampede. They are those yellow stickers on the helmet that say WT. Pretty cool placement.
Yes, great. Colin McIntosh is in the hockey jail. I think something not quite right. Battling for it now. So a chance again for the Makos to set something up. Puck knocked off. This stick by Rusky Jones is dogging McDonald as he marches over the blue line. McDonald tries to dance, and he does. Shot. Great work by McDonald muscles his way through 3 Stampede players and takes a shot, but
just flies. I'd like to ask him for some skating lessons, to be honest.
Those edges, you're right. His edges are spectacular.
And he doesn't give up either. He's been battling this whole game. It's real fun to see.
Thanks for all those updates, Bex. Keeping us on track of the technical things. Chamberlain shot, quick shot, right on the bullseye.
What, are we too loud now?
No, I think it was just briefing us on the little disruption we had earlier. All right, face off to the right of Brooks. Stampede can't clear it. Puck rolling around in the corner. Backhand attempt. And Chamberlain with it on the red line, being harassed by Amston. Needs some help from Logan Campbell, who picks it up. Campbell can't hit the center. Make the centering pass. And it's picked up by Amston and fired all the way around.
Less than a minute left on the power play for the Mako.
And Mako's over the blue line just, and then Roby just robs it. And
I believe it's offsides. Should
okay,
be.
I just think the referee called it. That's why I was looking at you.
I did that bad habit of prematurely calling it. If everybody heard that, oops.
Yeah.
Trying to work
the
that
good
out
thing
too
is
much.
the good thing is no one's listening to me, so listening to us, so we can say
Fair.
whatever we want.
Dave's gone wild.
Yeah. He's out of control up here. Behind the net. And again, great work to killing the last few seconds of that penalty. Jesse Hutchins across to Barry. No. And it's robbed by Devlin. Devlin shot. Gloved in beautifully.
Nice save by Joel.
Just missing those tape-to-tapes in their own zone, which just either takes up time or can be even more dangerous. Mako just working hard on trying to get those basics.
5 seconds left on the penalty as well.
Under control, true. Taps it around behind the net, and that'll kill that penalty. And marching it out, the Makos. Otis forcing Brooksy to glove it and forcing a face-off.
And we're back at full strength, 5-5.
Chris and family, if you're watching, probably hugging the fire. You got the fireplace fixed and got it lit.
Nice.
Imagine having a broken fireplace this time of year.
Real firewood?
Real fireplace.
Oh, wow. Luxury.
Luxury, yeah.
The U12s and Learn to Plays were raffling firewood. I believe they got it donated, which is amazing.
Yeah, very important commodity here.
They should be announcing the winner, or they might have just.
Cam Shoes put into the hockey jail.
Yeah.
So Cam True's got himself 2 minutes, and face-off is to the left of Brooks. Ross can't feed Harrison, and he does, though. Blue line. And Rusky Jones with it behind his own net. That's Ollie, Rusky Jones. The Mako start to move it out. Where Murray skates it all the way in. Takes it to the corner. Otis back to the point. Murray. And there's a chance again. Just can't quite get a handle on it. Puck bounces. They're circling like sharks. They were really close in.
Oh, I like that. Circling like sharks.
But
nice block shot.
Yeah, great work by Ross. Forcing Ollie Rusky Jones all the way back. Murray, cross ice to McDonald, and it rolls behind the net.
Different bounce off the glass there.
It rolls all the way back to the red line. Talon taps it in. Talon picks it up again over the blue line, hammers the brakes on, skates to the leaves from Chamberlain. Chamberlain takes a shot, it deflects off his stick, and Amston over the blue line. Chamberlain and Amston in the corner. He's got some help. And Chamberlain ends up with it over the blue line. Chamberlain tries to muscle his way past Burns, but that's not going to happen. And in the corner is Wimmer. Behind the net, rails it around to Campbell. Campbell backhands it across, intercepted by Chalice. Cross ice to Freer, but Chamberlain just breaks that up. Just gets a piece of that puck. McDonald. Wimmer. Tap, but it's intercepted by McCullum to Hurley, and Hurley takes a shot and gloved down by Gerard.
It's awesome to see Hurley out here. You know, he drives every week from Alex, puts on a lot of kilometers or miles.
Yeah, training. Imagine that.
The dedication on him is unmatched.
Rusky Jones facing off for SkyCity.
Nice defensive play on the blue line.
Yeah, Barry tried to muscle his way over the blue line, but again, Stampede are pretty strong. They own it. Hurley with it. Early shot.
Ooh, just high.
A little bit high. Well, McCollum picks it up in the corner, feeds it around to Rusky Jones behind the net. Centering pass, no one there. Hurley. Roby along the far boards. Taps it back to the corner where Hurley gives chase. Mako are struggling to get a piece of the puck to get it out. They're heavily dogged. Puck rolling around just beside Gerard, who took a swipe at it but couldn't do anything with it. And Rusky Jones cross ice to Roby. Roby's bounced off the puck, but it's picked up by McCullum on the red line. Hurley over the blue line. Pushes his way past. Back to the point. McCullum can't get a good shot away, and it rolls to the close corner. And Finn trying to get it out, can't do that. Laugh hard. And finally it rolls into the SkyCity zone where they pick it up and start moving it forward again. McCullum losing it to Otis. Leopard to Murray, and fires it, steps over the blue line, fires it in. Stampede clearing it out. Harrison can't get a handle on it. True now passes it up to Harrison. He's being
Three on him.
3 players on him. And True taps it up to Harrison. Cross ice now to Amston. Amston off the boards to Devlin. Devlin over the blue line.
You know what? Didn't realize Jake Thompson is in net right now.
Well, why would they do that to me? Thank you for telling me, Kelly.
You know, I can't take the credit. It was Luana Freer.
Oh, thanks, Luana. At least somebody's watching the game.
You know, it was just Neil's birthday the other day as well, so happy belated to Neil.
Yeah, happy birthday, Neil.
Neil and Luana are also a staple in the Stampede community. Community.
Neil, Luana,
yep.
Cam,
Ross.
Mitchell, Lockie. Freers everywhere. McIntosh with it in the corner. Rails it around. Chalice on the far boards. Chalice leaves it in the center. Shot off a skate. Dangerous. Chalice can get a big piece of that. And the puck rolled to the middle of the slot where I think it was Wimmer took a shot, but it came off a skate. Good opportunity for the Makos. Face off to the left of Aston Brooks. 2 minutes left in this period slipped by as Chamberlain is forced back into his own zone. Behind his net, Wimmer. Feeds McDonald. McDonald drags it in. Nice shot off the shoulder of Brooks. Trying to wrap it around. Can't. And whistle blown.
Nets off.
Nets off its moorings. Unfortunate because they had some momentum.
It's nice to see Jake in that as well. He's one that can't get enough of hockey. He comes to the Wild trainings, plays net for us, Jurassic Socials. Whenever you need a goalie, he's there.
Yep, hungry for hockey. Hockey town.
And goalies are hard to come by.
Yes.
You got to appreciate your goalies.
Well, to be fair, though, you know, the sanity has to be questioned because everybody else would get out of the way of some sort of object flying at them at 100 mile an hour. But the goal, only a goalie steps in front of it.
And you got to thank their parents as well.
Yeah, that's right. Talon pushing behind the net, tries to wrap around, puck around, and shots and scores finally. Marcus McDonald, all that hard work, spectacular goal with only 1 minute, 7 seconds left.
He was left alone in front due to his,
That time Talon did all the, he did all the grind work, and then it bounces in front, and McDonald held on to it long enough to pick a spot and sinks another one. So 11-3.
I love this sport. Such a team sport. It doesn't matter who puts it in. There's always someone working ahead of you, helping you out.
You don't have to be crazy to be at hockey, but it does help. Amston with it in his own zone. Moves it to the red line. Might have just got Amston angry. And Roby across to McCollum. McCollum over the blue line. Slams on, does a big circle, against the boards. And, puck shot. And it bounces around the net, but not in.
Nice of Jake to put that back. Not let him get anything there.
Rusky Jones to Roby. Roby can't hit Hurley, who is skating in the far side.
25 seconds remaining.
So, what do they need? 11 quick goals?
Massive it off, but
Stampede just hanging on to it in their own zone as we're down to single digits. Rusky Jones over the blue line. One last shot by Hurley. Centering, no one there to pick it up. Shot by McCullum, and that'll end this
I was going to say, I have eyes on Sarah Gerard. We're just looking for Nikki Thompson, too. You know, the goalie's mom. It's always... She's going to be proud.
Yep. This is how it starts.
Yep.
Yes. Well, what an exciting evening of hockey. Great to see these young ones, stepping up and doing their best against a very seasoned team.
Oh, and they didn't let down. They played 3 full periods. I thought maybe even their third was their best, to be honest.
Absolutely.
They got better each period, which was great.
Yeah. Once again, big shout out to all our fans, and a big thank you to all our volunteers who kind of make this whole machine work. So thank you. And thanks to Max and James and you, Kelly.
Oh, yeah.
Great evening of hockey, great laughs. We might have had a bit of hockey in there while we were laughing.
I don't think people thank you enough either, Dave.
And thanks to all you people listening. I hope you enjoyed it. So next weekend, I think your Wild game may be live streamed.
I hope so.
In Christchurch, so 4:30 Saturday and 4:30 Sunday in Christchurch. And of course, this tournament next weekend, 3-on-3, and all the different teams from around the league will be playing. So hockey everywhere next weekend.
I believe tickets for the 3-on-3 is through the New Zealand Ice Hockey Federation
Okay.
website or the store there. Go to your local team's pages, and I'm sure they all have links. Just make sure the links are the approved links.
Yes, don't go buying any false tickets. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys, and I'm going to sign off. Thanks for listening. I'm Dave Dummett.
And I'm Kelly. See ya.